Raikan Topaini is for Thai drama lovers only.
Hello, hi, Sawadeha, and welcome to Axelle's Guide to Thai Dramas. I am Axelle, and the Thai drama we're talking about today is Whale Store Xoxo. GMMTV and their weird ass names need to be studied, although it's not just GMMTV. Shows like Pete Babe exist, so it's not just GMMTV. So let's get into it right this second, because as you might have seen from the title, from the thumbnail, I really enjoyed this show. I do love when a show takes me by surprise, so I was super happy that this was the case with the show. My first impression, of course, was to see the trailer at the GMMTV lineup, as it is the case for almost all GMMTV shows. That's my first impression of them. And honestly, I wasn't really into this show. I never really thought that I would watch it, at least when it was like airing. I think I was like, oh, I'll just watch it once it's all done and I can just binge it. But something changed in the meanwhile. I think I found my love a little bit more for Thai drama since. And so I just gave it a shot when it came out. I didn't even watch, I think, the final trailer. Maybe I did. I don't remember. But in any case, before that, I've never been the biggest Milk Love fan. I like them just fine, but out of all the GL pairings at GMMTV, there's not that many. I would say my number one is Namtan Film, even though I didn't like Pluto, famously said on this podcast. I do love Amy Bonny, and I really loved Us. And I like, View Meme quite a lot. And I also like, June and Munich, which we'll see in, this series. Milk Love, I would say, would have been under June. So it would be, my ranking would be Namtan Film, Amy Bonny, View Meme, probably. If you don't know, I was also a huge View June fan. View June would have been my number one in my heart, to be honest, at some point in time. And then we would have had, Milk Love. I think I don't know why, because thinking back on it, I've loved all three ships they've had on screen. So when they played as Inkpa in Bad Buddy, I was really, really excited. They were definitely my favorite part of the show. If you don't know, even though Bad Buddy is an extremely beloved show, I didn't like it at all. I mean, I liked the first half of the show just fine, but the second half is not good. In my opinion, it's actually really, really terrible. And, Inkpa really saved that show for me and are the only reason I stayed watching until the end, to be honest. So I really liked them in that. I also really enjoyed 23.5. I didn't love their pairing in that, and their characters were both like, Milk's character was a bit annoying and Love's character was a bit bland, but I did still enjoy the whole show as a whole. I loved the side characters. I loved the world building and characters there, and side characters there especially. And here we have Whale Store Xoxo, which is by far, spoiler, my favorite show of theirs, and has converted me more in a Milk Love fan. I think the reason why I've always been a little bit more hesitant about Milk Love is because you can tell that Love is a straight girly. No shade, no shade. I love that Milk is openly queer and sapphic, and that's iconic as fuck. I'm definitely more of a Milk fan. I like my queer girlies, obviously, as a queer girl myself. And I think she's so high fashion. I love her photo shoots. Like, she looks so good. She's just such a fashion icon. I just love her so much. And more, like every month, every year that passes, I really love her a lot more, nowadays. And for Love, I've always liked her. Again, she's been at GMMTV for a while by now, but for me, she really has like this straight energy. For me, she's very much the poster child for like the Thai beauty standard, which is like super tiny girls, very white skin. Like, she's obviously beautiful. Like, no one can take that away from her. Like, her face is beautiful. Like, everything about her is beautiful. Personally, my taste, I would say, is more like girls who have a face. You know what I mean? I want some people who stand out a little bit more. And so I think that's why, I've been a little bit less into Milk Love than the other GL ships. Especially since I do believe that, Love has a boyfriend. I'm pretty sure. So I think no one really ships Milk Love as if they were together. Probably people like ship them together, but probably people believe they're together. But to be fair, if love has a best friend, has a boyfriend, yeah. So for me, and then it's not that I need to believe that two actors are together to believe in their ship. It's just that they have more friends energy. However, in this show, I think they played it really, really good. Anyways. Well, get into that. So the synopsis, he follows Wan, played by Milk Pansa, who is a corporate girlie. She works at a Japanese company that really overworks her, and she barely has time to go call her dad or see her dad in person. She's very, very busy, and doesn't really seeing her dad and having a relationship with him as a priority. And one day, Wan's dad dies. He dies not in front, but, the person who discovers him is Meonam, not Mewan, Meonam, which is a really hard name to remember. Meonam, played by Love Pratanit, who is, a little bit of mysterious girl. We learn later on that she is from a rich family who owns Mouse Mart, which is the equivalent of 7-Eleven here in Thailand, but inside the show. And she doesn't really want to have the money from her family, so she works. She's a professor at like I'm not sure it's a university. I would say it's more of like a tutoring school. And she also has Meonam service, where she goes to repair stuff. She delivers stuff. She's kind of a handy woman for everything, and she's really cool. Spoiler alert, I really loved both Wan and Meonam, but Meonam might be my favorite, and it really changed my mind, I think, on Love. I think she ate that role so bad. Anyways, they met, or they don't meet that way, but they meet again as adults that way. And they form a friendship because one decides to take over her dad's old convenience store. So before 7-Eleven existed, convenience stores are obviously existed everywhere in the world, but in Thailand, these were stores owned by, and they still exist, but they're just not as popular, unfortunately, because capitalism kills everything. Literally, Wan decides to take over that small convenience store that her dad used to have, and she also discovers a note that says from her dad that says that Mouse Mart is the one that killed her dad because he was in debt, and he was very stressed about Mouse Mart potentially opening next to his convenience store. From then on, when one opens the store, Meonam is gonna help her because Meonam is pretty much in love with Wan from day one. And that's pretty much it. They also have, Meonam also has two friends who are also professors, which is Tonnam and Shampoo. So Tonnam is played by Jun Wan Wimon, and Shampoo is played by Munich Napanat, and they are secretly dating, and they have been together for like, I believe, 3 years, and they will encounter their whole own storyline because Shampoo's mother is very hard to accept that Shampoo is dating a woman. So we'll talk about it a little bit later. So to go on to the characters, spoiler alert, I fucking loved these characters. I think they were awesome, especially Wan and Meonam. So first we'll have Wan. So Wan is older than Meonam. I think she is about to be 30. I think she's a really great character. I think her character journey is so good because she starts the show as being very cold and not very appreciative of her life. But when she loses her dad, she realizes how much time she wasted not going to have dinner with him and not calling him and spending more time with him. And she's filled with regret, and taking over his store is really her way of kind of making amends. Even though that whole thing, also taking over the store, is a whole challenge in itself that she endures throughout the whole show. I think Wan is such a cool main character. She's very relatable. I really loved the episode that dealt a little bit deeper with her grief. I just think she's awesome. Honestly, I really loved her as a main character. I thought she was pretty much perfect. Let's go on to Meonam. Meonam, I think, is so fun because, again, I think because Meonam is very like golden retriever energy. She's very bright and always there and very reliable. And she's really flirty and a little bit sassy with, Wan. And I really like that Love in this show is the one pursuing Milk. I thought this dynamic was so cute, so fun, so engaging, and it again changed a little bit the dynamic usual. I tend to really appreciate how GL doesn't really fall, even though they're still like the top and the bottom a little bit, and it's also highlighted in like the ship names of the characters and all of that. I feel like the gender roles are so much lesser than BL, and I love it. I love it so much. Oh my god. Because I hate gender roles in BL. I hate that it's so gendered and it's so like cliche, and it's so boring and repetitive. I feel like GL is a little bit more fluid, and I feel like oftentimes GL will show both characters initiating stuff and being more dominant at moments and more submissive at others. Like, I feel like there's more fluidity, and I love that. I love that shit so bad. So Meonam for me was so fun. She's perhaps one of my favorite characters of the year, I would say, because she's very also very relatable in many aspects, and she's just so cute, like so fun to follow. And I think that she really fits Wan so well. I felt like both characters fit each other so well, which we'll talk about a little bit more in the ships and chemistry section. So I really loved her. And then we have Tonnam. So Tonnam is quite underdeveloped, I would say. So Tonnam is the I don't have much to say about it. I think she's very loyal and she's very patient. That I would say that about Tonnam, because personally I wouldn't be able to bear everything that Shampoo does to her in the show. She's kind of a pathetic and sad figure in the show, Tonnam is, because she is very much always rejected by Shampoo, and she's very open to opening up to everyone and saying that they're together, but Shampoo is really the obstacle. And even once Shampoo finally opens up and tells her mom, the mom then becomes the obstacle. So it was really a little bit sad for her, but I think that's kind of her only character trait. There's not much else, unfortunately. Yeah, she's just loyal and patient and endures a lot. Yeah. And then we have Shampoo. Shampoo is a little bit more interesting as a character. I didn't love her though, unfortunately. She's a very girly girl. And I think as a femme queer girly too, I do like she has nails. I have nails. Like, she likes nails. She likes beauty. She's very like hyper femme, lesbian, I would say. And I enjoyed that aspect. I think it would be also interesting to have like BLGL explore kind of these different categories found in queer culture and have it be a part of the plot a little bit more. But Shampoo is Shampoo for me like doesn't take into account her girlfriend much. And I understand that I think the story of Tonnam and Shampoo, like, struggling to come out as a couple and then not being fully accepted by, Shampoo's mother was actually very interesting. And I think it's a story that many people will be able to relate to. And I think, no matter how much you know that your parents could be accepting, it's always very stressful. Like, personally, when I came out as bi to my parents, even though I knew that they had queer friends their whole lives and they are very like leftist and open-minded, I was really stressed still, because you are still like, what if they can accept everyone else and not their own daughter? And I feel like that was a little bit what happened with Shampoo and her mother, because her mother works with a very effeminate queer guy, and yet she has no problems with him. But once Shampoo dated a woman, that's when it became a problem. And so I found the storyline interesting in itself, but Shampoo in herself, I found her a little bit annoying, a little bit grating, unfortunately. I think she's a little bit too, not considerate of people's feelings, and especially Tonnam, who is not her girlfriend of 5 days, but her partner of 3 years. I mean, they literally move in together, and then she literally like ditches Tonnam because her mom is a problem, and I just didn't like that. So for me, Shampoo, definitely of all the main characters, she is the one I like the least, but she brought in a storyline that I liked, so that's why I can kind of equalize it, if you will. Then you have Noi, played by my queen, Piploy Kanyarat. So Noi is Wan's best friend. She is a lawyer, so she's always here to help her. She is kind of a plot device, like she doesn't really have any storyline of her own. She's a little bit too underdeveloped, in my opinion. I wish we would have seen her a little bit be part of the whole plot, because she literally just shows up every time to gives advice to Wan, or to show her some lawyer stuff and paperwork that she found, or the debt that she found that Wan's dad had. But I did like it's revealed that Noi has been in love with Wan for a long time, but this doesn't go quite anywhere. I felt like that was a little bit unexplored and a little bit of a detail that honestly didn't have to be here. But I like that Noi didn't kept a lot of dignity with dealing with her feelings, and it ends with Noi being kind of shown oh my god, it ends with Noi being kind of shown having a relationship with one of her clients that she mentions. So it all ends well for her. And then we have Ajahn Manmook, who is another professor at the university or the tutoring school that Meonam, Tonnam, they all have such long names, and Shompu have. And she's played by Jingjing Yu, another one of my queens. I thought for a second that they were gonna make Piploy and Jingjing be the side ship, which I'm excited because Piploy and Jingjing have been hinting at wanting to be a GL ship together, which I would be into a lot. Honestly, I feel like Jingjing is made for GL, and I love that she's been leaning into GL. Ajahn Manmook was a little bit annoying. I didn't really like her character. So she is Wan's ex-girlfriend. She treated Wan very terribly. Honestly, she was such a dick. And she comes back into her life and tries to help her when the convenience store is not doing so well. But I didn't quite love Ajahn Manmook, but I liked seeing Jingjing in a more tsundere, bad bitch role, bad bitch GL role. It has to be GL, the cold girl, she looks mean, but actually she's soft-hearted. If they put Jingjing in a GL, please give her a role like this. I think she slays. She looked so good in that. I was like, yes, Jingjing, let's go, So I really like that. And then there's all the characters who play the parents and all of that, so I will not talk about them. Next, we have the cast and acting. I think the cast is really good. I do love an all-female cast. I mean, there are some guys into it, but they play very minor characters. So I really do love seeing an all-female cast slay. So overall, the cast was really good. The acting was really good. I thought the acting was much better. I think Love also I've always been a little bit hesitative about her, because I think her acting is not always the most consistent. It's not that she has bad acting, it's that sometimes I feel in emotional scenes and stuff like that, she is not the best. And here I thought she did great. I think, Milk Pansa is really amazing. I really love her acting so much. Everyone I think did a really good job here. Yeah, not a bad performance, and the cast was really good, so thumbs up for me. And next, the writing. I think the writing is really good. This is what really hooked me over, because I think the writing is really good at dealing with. It's kind of it looks like a basic show on the surface, but I think it is quite a basic show. There's nothing quite revolutionary into it, although I do like that the convenience store, location and plot device has not been done before. So it is in its way original. So the convenience store in itself, I feel, is a really good, location and plot device inside of the show. And also, I think the dynamic between, Wan and Meonam is quite unique. It's not a pairing dynamic that we are used to, or at least that I am used to. I thought it was really interesting. And I also loved a lot. For me, I love deeper topics in shows, even if the shows aren't that deep. And I really love the exploration of grief in the show. I thought it was really good. I really love the episode where we see Wan finally kind of the grief of her dad hit her fully, and then she talks with her dad's best friend, and they have a really touching bonding moment. Like I literally cried at it because I found it so beautiful. And for me, if you manage to make me cry in front of a show, you're doing something right. For me, all I want from shows is to get emotion out of me, to make me care. And this show really managed to do that through its writing because it layers a lot of different themes. Again, even Shampoo and Ton Nam, who I didn't love their pairing that much. I didn't really love both characters that much, but I really cared about the storyline, the coming out storyline, because I think it's very real for queer people all around the world, and it's very relatable for many of us. So I think it's a very important story to tell, and that's what matters for me also. So for me, there was a lot of deeper topics that I really enjoyed, and the writing in general was really good. I do have to say though that in the last 2 or 3 episodes, I feel like my love for the show kind of dwindled a little bit. I felt like a lot of the choices, especially in the last episode, were a little bit confusing. I thought that the storyline of Mel Nam taking the money she had reserved for her PhD to give it to Wan was a little bit irresponsible. And for me, even though it's supposed to be a great showing of love, and in general, Mel Nam reveals later on that she didn't want to do the PhD anyways. In my opinion, it's like a little bit off-putting, because in general, you should not lend that much money or give that much money to your romantic partner out of nowhere like this, as long as you're not married and your finances are not combined. Like, I don't want to look like someone who's not generous, but I feel like it's kind of a bad financial advice. And I think a lot of not just this show, but a lot of fictional shows and a lot in real life of people think that being a couple means that you should give everything, every type of money that you have to the other person if they're struggling. But the truth is that they could break up, and because it's not an official loan, one could never reimburse Mel Nam. And then Mel Nam, okay, is rich, but let's say her family becomes poor out of sudden, then she'll be fucked. She won't have any money saved for anything. So in general, I feel like that was kind of bad financial advice. And for me, this is the kind of stuff that kind of makes me cringe a little bit, because I'm like, oh, why are you doing that? But it's not as bad as for me. In the last episode, I was really, really confused when they make Wan hesitate one last time, when she's fought so long and so hard to keep the store open, and she finally then finds a job posting in Japan and decides to apply to it and take it, and she gets accepted, and literally she's gonna leave for it. She has her visa and everything. She has prepped everything. Everyone is ready to say goodbye to her. And on the day of her farewell party, she says, just kidding. I've just decided that I want to stay here, that I love this convenience store so much more than anything else. And that was so anticlimactic, because this was in the span of not even 1 or 2 parts of the of the last episode. As I've said in other episodes of this podcast, for me, if you want to set up something big, and if you want to set up something that will lead to tension for the viewers, you have to set it up over the course of multiple episodes. And this felt so rushed and so random. This literally came out of nowhere and then ended out of nowhere as well. So for me, it gave me a lot of whiplash, where I was like, why? What are we doing? What was the point of that? I don't really get it, because up until now, one had already chosen the convenience store over her corporate life. So what was the point of this, except to show us that Mel Nam was gonna be really sad that she went to Japan, which is logical, but was gonna let her go anyways because she loves Wan and she will let her do whatever she wants. I was like, So for me, that was an aspect that definitely, one of the weakest points, and kind of weakened the ending of the show. And I also wish we would have seen more about the store, because yes, it is a huge gamble to have this store when there is a convenience store that just opened, when you can see that even the friends of the show. So one part that I really, really adored about this show is the location effect. I love when you can tell a show is taking place in a location, you know, in a neighborhood. And I also love the other neighbors. The one owns a restaurant, one is Shampoo's mother who owns a hair salon. Like, everyone is doing something, and one has to win their good graces in the first few episodes of the show. I really enjoyed that part. I really enjoyed the community aspect, and I love that they came up for one's farewell party that wasn't really a farewell party because she didn't leave to Japan. But I really enjoyed that group hug at the end. That was I love this kind of like the loop has been looped, you know. But what I didn't like is that in the very same episode, which is the last episode, we see one of these people who is a friend of one at this point, who is a close neighbor and has seen one struggle to keep this store open, and was, I guess, also a friend of one's dad, say that, oh no, sorry, I'm not gonna shop at the store anymore because Mouse Mart, so the 7-Eleven capitalistic fucking convenience store, gives me like more reduction on what I buy. And I was like, what? Like, what the hell, you know? He says that to one, and he never apologizes for it. Like, and even everyone in the neighborhood, like, when they go to try Mouse Mart, even though publicly they said they wouldn't try this, I felt like this feels more human, because yes, especially like people love to try new things, so I wasn't shocked by that. But in the end, I was like, what was the point of this? I feel like the ending was a little bit muddy, and we didn't really know what would be the ending of the convenience store, especially since now, not only is one paying off her dad's initial debt, but she now also has a debt that she has to give back to Melnam because she gave her a lot of money. You know what I mean? So for me, there's this aspect where I felt like the ending was a little bit lackluster, but apart from that, the writing on many, many instances was so much better than I anticipated. Once again, this show really took me by surprise. I did not expect to love it as much. And I think the writing was really good at making me care, at making me feel. I cried multiple times watching this show. Love it. Then you have the cinematography. So the cinematography isn't incredible, like there's no innovative shots and stuff like that. However, I really loved the location. Once again, I do love a good neighborhood. I love that the establishing shot of the neighborhood is seeing this beautiful temple in between buildings. I thought they found such a good establishing shot. Like, I want to go see this neighborhood. This looks so fucking cool. And I really loved also the store, especially when they renovated afterwards. The store looked so cute. Low-key, I would go visit it. Like, GMMTV should make a pop-up. I would go see that pop-up, like, of the store, because this looks so cute. Yeah, in general, this is a beautiful show. I liked the color grading. However, obviously, as most GMMTV shows, the cinematography isn't anything quite like that original, that innovative, but it was still a very good looking show. Next, we have the pace. I thought the pace was really good, except again for the last 2-3 episodes, no, especially the last 2, where I felt like we kind of lost the point of it. But up until then, I thought the show was so easy to watch. Like, literally every episode would pass by so fast, so easily. I love when a show is like so easily watchable. You don't have to like force yourself to watch it, or like really have to focus 1000%. Like, it really, everything works really well pace wise, I would say, except again the last 2 episodes, because I feel like we kind of, the last 2 episodes, we just don't know what the climax of the show is gonna be, and there's not really any climax. And I think that was also the issue, to go back to the writing, where because they didn't have a final climax for the last 2 episodes, and especially the last one, they had to invent this whole, one might go to Japan storyline to become a corporate girly again, which I didn't quite enjoy as much, obviously, because, well, again, I said it literally came out of nowhere, and it was so random. And I thought they did that just to give us a climax. But for me, that's just not how storytelling works. And it was not an efficient climax. So, yeah. But the base apart from that was really, really solid in my opinion. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. Next, the ships and chemistry. I loved Wan and Meonam. Like, I really love this ship. I thought they fit together so well. I couldn't really explain. I really love the way that, again, Meonam is more of the pursuer in the relationship. And I think that usually I would be like, oh, that's a little bit unfair, because Meonam is such like the pillar of the relationship, because Wan is always kind of struggling and stressed, and Meonam is always kind of coming in for the rescue and kind of always there to support Wan. But I thought it really worked in this case, because I think in partnerships, there's often times when one partner will be the one struggling the most and more stressed than the other, and the one who needs the most support, while the other is more privileged and has less problems, even though Meonam does have some problems, especially dealing with her family and her mother's expectations, which I kind of liked her talk with her mother. I wish it would have been a little bit deeper and longer, but I liked that Meonam actually had the guts to call out her mother. Once again, this is not classic in Thai dramas. Usually kids really don't call out their parents, and if they do, usually they get slapped. Like, literally, that if you have watched any amount of Thai dramas, you know that as soon as a kid, even if it's justified, a kid will call out his parents and they will get slapped. So it was really good to see Meonam actually call out her mom, and her mom taking responsibility, and them crying and forgiving each other. I thought this was also really good. So Meonam does have some issues. She's not like a perfect character. I enjoy that. I don't like perfect and boring characters, and Meonam neither has a perfect life, nor is she boring. Once again, as I said, she's my favorite character of the whole show. She's really fun to follow. She's really fun, quirky. She follows her heart. She's loyal. She's just so cute. I really love her. And it really worked with Wan, who is really much more struggling in the whole show, grieving, and just has changed her whole life. Literally, she has lost her last parents left, and she is trying to get the convenience store to stay afloat, even though the competition is completely unfair. And so, of course, I feel like it's very normal and relatable that Meonam is the one to be the more supportive partner in the couple, whereas Wan is more the one receiving help, receiving support. And I thought they worked so well together. I also thought that Wan still did really help Meonam and support Meonam where she could. And I thought this couple was really, really good. I really love them. I really shipped them hard. I thought they were so cute. So like believable, and for them the chemistry was really good. I feel like Milk Love, again, were really, I think we have to give them some flowers, because they were the literally the creators of GL at GMMTV, even though there had been some GL shows, like especially I and Apple playing Chris Am in Friendzone 2, but that was more of a queer show, Friendzone 2 being directed by Jojo Chishakon when he was still doing queer shows and not just BLs. That's a whole thing. But, and BLs that are not that good. No shade. Anyways, all of that to say, although I'm excited for that summer, by the way, by the time I'm recording this, I've just watched the final trailer for the show. I'm quite excited for it. So, yeah. And I had forgotten that Jojo Chishakon was the one directing it. So anyways, all that to say that I really enjoyed the chemistry between Milk Love. And I think it's really iconic that they came in as the side ship in Bad Buddy, and really stole the show and really, showed GMMTV that GL is as popular and as sustainable as BL, and they should invest more into it. And I think they are iconic for that, and they deserve their flowers for that. And I think they've never had bad chemistry. They've always been really cute together. But here, this show was really good. I really love them together, because I think both characters here were really interesting and fun, and they worked so well together. And yeah, I just love them so much. As for Tonnam and Shampoo, as you might have gathered by now, I didn't love them as much. I think Shampoo was a pretty bad girlfriend to Tonnam for most of the show, in a way that is not intentional, but I don't think that matters. I think Shampoo is a little bit airheaded. She's a little bit like, no, like, was that sexist what I did? I'm sorry if it looks like this. It's not what I intend, but I think they really leaned into Shampoo being kind of a bimbo girl, so a little bit, yes, airheaded. And I don't think I loved that aspect of it because she was not a very good girlfriend to Tonnam. So for me, I didn't love them. I didn't hate them either. I thought, again, the whole coming out storyline was interesting and is quite rare since BL and GL usually are set in kind of different universes than the one we are in right now, in the sense that most of them don't acknowledge sexuality at all, and even if they do, it's kind of in a very offhanded way and very like, oh yeah, you like boys and that's it, and you move on. And I really like that this actually showed what coming out is. I think it was more realistic and more relatable, so I do like them for that. I think they had good chemistry. I feel like I gotta say something. I don't know. I think most people are gonna kill me on the stake for that. But, I think they both feel like straight girls. And it's not because I think that I am femme for femme, okay? And I don't think that two femme girls cannot look gay and queer and sapphic. But I feel like them in particular, I mean, again, if you look at literally, Milk Love, they are also two femme girls, and you can tell, like, they have more chemistry. But here I felt like sometimes they just felt like two besties, and although they did, like, have a lot of intimacy, so it was not the script that was the problem. I feel like it's more the actresses. Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I'm so sorry. I don't know. If you guys feel the same way as I do, please tell me. I don't want to be mean. But I also understand that they were just a side ship in here. I'm waiting to see their next works. Maybe it was the way that especially Shampoo was written, because again, I didn't quite love her. So we'll see. I'm not, completely, despairing at all. But for me, yes, they were not that believable to me. Then the music, again, as all GMMTV shows, I don't remember anything, girl. The music came into one ear and left by the other, okay? I don't remember. I feel like, once again, it was nice enough that it accompanied the show and I didn't quite notice it. But yeah, not very forgettable for sure. Then the costume design, I thought that, I really liked the costume design for one when she was a corporate girly. I really love when I think, again, Milk really looks so good in like neutral tones, which is crazy because I'm more of a like colorful girly. So usually I love people when they dress more colorful, but I feel like Milk looks so good in a good like black or brown or like dark gray. I feel like neutral tones just looks like she looks high fashion in those, like, so well. I also really like the style that they gave Mel Nam. I thought it was very like girly and also like very fresh. I felt like it suited her vibe a lot. I also liked the style of Tonnam and Shampoo. I thought the wardrobe was really good, but again, there was not like anything for me out of incredible that shocked me. I did love the outfits that Wan and Meonam wore for their fancy date. So Wan, if I remember correctly, it was like a black gown with like a sort of scarf. She looks so good. Again, you can tell that I have a big crush on Milk Panza, who, I mean, all the queer girlies do. And I think all the boys do. Like, everyone does, to be honest. But anyways, and Love was in this, like, I believe it was it blue or pink? But it was kind of a more pastel color. It was also such a cute dress. If I were to choose one dress for myself, it would be more the one that Love wore, because again, I'm a colorful girly. But I felt like it was so good. They looked both so good and so fancy. I loved it. So yeah, I did like that part of the costume design. So next we have the rewatchability. So for the rewatchability, I would say this one is very, very high. I would definitely rewatch it. I think binging the show would be so fun. It is only 10 episodes and I love shorter shows. I love I love, shows that are like 8 or 10 episodes. I think that they are so much more engaging to rewatch, because when it's 12 episodes or more, I'm like, oh my God, it's going to take me so long. But when it's 8 or 10, I'm like, oh, if I'm having having a rotting day in bed, I could watch this in one day. It would be a little bit unhinged, but I can still do it, you know? So I really, really would rewatch the show, and probably will. I thought it was really, really cute. Spoiler? No, not yet. Keeping you on your toes. Next, my enjoyment out of 5, I would give it 5 stars. I love this show. I was looking forward to it every week. Literally, I'm recording this the first Wednesday that this show is not airing, and I'm feeling empty inside. I don't know what I'm gonna watch tonight, and I'm so fucking sad about that, okay? I'm literally so empty, literally so sad. I loved that show. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really well done. It blew it out of the water for me, compared to what I expected for this show. And I genuinely, even the criticisms of it that I have are very minor, and overall I really had so much fun in front of this show. So really, really good. And next you have my rating. So I love this show so much, which is fucking crazy, that I was gonna give it a 9 out of 10. That's how how much I love that show, okay? I don't give out 9 out of 10s so much, but then I thought about it, and because I didn't enjoy the last 2 episodes as much as the rest of the show, I decided on an 8.5, which is still very high, very, very good. The average, grade on my drama list is 8.1, which I do not agree with, but again, I rarely agree with my drama list grades. Almost never, so I'm not surprised at that. And I really, really, give it an 8.5 because for me, it made me cry. It had me emotionally involved in the show. I thought it was really well done. Almost everything was good. The reason, again, I didn't give it a 9 or higher is that for me, it's not a life-changing show, or it's not also a show that was so perfectly executed. So 8.5 for me is so perfect for it. Next is how I would fix it. So as I said, for me, I would completely get rid of the might go to Japan storyline in the last episode. I would definitely much more do another climax. I don't know yet what it would be. Either it would be let me think. I think it would be either the fact that one, even despite everything, realizes that she does have to close the convenience store. And I think that it would not be in the last episode. They should start the storyline at least in the episode before, because, it would be a little bit sad, a more bittersweet ending to the show. So it would a little bit change, yes, the overall vibe of the show. However, I think it would have been realistic, because realistically, when I think about it, I don't think one can keep that convenience store open much longer after the end of the show. Oh, I think, for example, a really good storyline that would have been that, she realizes that having it as a convenience store is not profitable anymore. And so she would have had to go through a second amount of grief and feeling like she let her dad down. And I think in many times in our lives, sometimes we feel like we let people we love down. And I think that would have been a good lesson to explore in the show. And then maybe realizing, oh, maybe I can turn this into a restaurant or a cafe or something else that is more profitable and that is more trendy, and people will come in. And then she realizes that yes, she couldn't keep the original concept of the place, but the place is still alive. The place is still being visited by so many people. She still lives and works there. And I think that would have been such a beautiful ending. I just came up with this idea on the spot, by the way. I think that would have been such a good moment. But in any case, even if they wanted to keep the convenience store open, I feel like they should have come up with another way to have kind of a climax in the end of the episode. Maybe the reveal with the mom, build it up a little bit more with Melnam's mom and all the drama. Maybe with Manmook, although I don't like love triangle, so maybe not. All of that. And for Shampoo and Tonnam, I would have definitely have had Shampoo be a little bit less grating of a character, a little bit less hurtful to Tonnam. And Tonnam, I would have given her another character trait than just being loyal and a little bit pathetic and a little bit patient. I just want her to be a little bit more than that. And I wish they would have been developed apart from the relationship, because Tonnam is not developed at all apart from her relationship. Shampoo at least has her family drama inside of the show that kind of does develop something else, even though it is linked to her relationship. But so for me, that's the biggest things I would do. And I would make Ajahn Manmook and Piploy's character Noi end up together, because I do like Piploy and Jing Jing a lot. And I think that this would have been a good way to kind of start developing Noi a lot more, because as I said, for me she was too underdeveloped, and I wish she would have been given a little bit more attention, but that's because I love Piploy so much. So yeah. And lastly, who would like this show? This was a quick one, you guys. It's crazy because usually I'd be yapping at least an hour, but this time I love this show and I feel like I just went through it so fast. Who would like this show? For me, I feel like a lot of people would like this show. It's so lovable. It's so easy to watch. I feel like it is very relatable in so many aspects. I think Wan and Meo Nam, again, are such lovable main characters. I really love them. And I think, most people would like this show if you like GL, if you like Milk Love, if you like, kind of slice of life / like family drama and, things like, kind of overcoming struggles and dramas with like deeper topics as well, and that have a very strong location presence, as the neighborhood of the show is, with all the neighbors and everything. I feel like you really enjoy this. I really enjoyed this show a lot. It really took me by surprise, and I had such a great time in front of it. And the thing that I was gonna say is that it actually has become my favorite GL. I would say it's perhaps tied with Us, but I think I might like it a little bit more than Us, maybe because I like more hopeful stories a little bit more, and I feel like this story maybe had a little bit more bite to it, like a little bit more different storylines going on. And also something that I forgot to talk about is that it does talk a little bit superficially about capitalism and how much harm it causes to individual small businesses, which I'm I'm the number one capitalism hater, so I do like it, even though Thailand is, if you don't know, very capitalistic, as are most countries who are developing very quickly, like Thailand is doing. Thailand is the country that I've visited with the most ads everywhere. It's so capitalistic here, and there's no real class consciousness, or if there is, it is a little bit mellow, if you will. So I did enjoy having some basic topics about how capitalism sucks everything dry and is the worst thing to happen to humanity in the show, even though it's not said that way. But yeah, it was also very interesting. So in general, I would say that I might prefer a little bit Whale Store XOXO, even though I hate the title, by the way, of Whale Store XOXO. I get why it's called like this, but I don't. So no, it was a really, really great show, and I'm so excited for GL shows. Like, give me more good GL shows, because unfortunately, so far, I still haven't had a GL show be more than 9 out of 10, but also I have watched, I believe I've watched 20 GL shows, and I've watched over 250, 300 BL shows. So there's still a long way to go, but I'm waiting for more GLs to come out, and I'm hoping that I will find my favorite GL that is rated 9 out of 10 or more very, very soon. I'm really looking forward to it. And in general, I'm super happy that for now, Whale Store XOXO is my number one favorite GL at the moment. And yeah, I really loved it. Okay, I think I am done. This was a short and sweet one. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I'll see you next week. Bye bye!